Good to see you.
Boom! Let's go. It's not how you feel, it's how you look. And you look marvelous. It's not what you look like. It's how you feel and what you look like. Because if you don't feel good, then most likely you're sure not going to look good.
Woody, in the past, I've heard so many things about stress management. I've heard diets and the various procedures in order for one to control its stress. What do you suggest for the average person?
Well, you know, when you talk about stress, a person gets into working on their body. Working, doing different exercises, different diets. I'd like to tell you a story. Once, a long time ago, in a kingdom very far away, there was this king, and as the king was starting to leave, he was going to leave his, he was getting up in age, he was 70, 80 years old, and he was getting ready to leave his kingdom. And what he wanted to do is he wanted to leave a legacy to everybody in the kingdom, so they'd know him far and wide. So he called in all the wise men, and he said, "Come in. I need to speak to all of you." So they came in, and he said, "What I want to do is I want to leave something for everyone in the kingdom. I want everyone in the kingdom to know that when I leave, they all know what the secret is to long life, health, prosperity, all those things." So the wise men said, "Yes, Your Majesty." They all bowed and they went out and they spent close to a year, and they wrote and they wrote, and they came back a year later and they brought 10 volumes of beautiful leather-bound books. And the king looked at them, and the king read them, and he said, "My wise men, the wisest of all, these are beautiful, beautiful books. But as you know, in the kingdom, far be it for a man to sit down and read the 10 volumes. You have to condense this down." So they said, "Yes, Your Majesty." They all bowed, and they went off, and they spent 6 months. All the wise men worked together, and they came back with one beautiful leather-bound book. And they said, "Your Majesty, we have worked, and we have this one beautiful book. And this is the secrets of the universe. This will help all of mankind." And the king looked at it and he said, "My wise men, the wisest of all, I totally appreciate you and I love the book. But what you need to do is you need to cut it down some. Because as you know, people don't take the time to read one book." So the wise men went out again, and they spent 3 months. They were up all hours of the night working on this book. And they worked, and they got it down to one little pamphlet with 10 pages. And they brought it to the king, and they said, "Your Majesty, here are the secrets." And the king read through the pamphlet very quickly, and he said, "My wise men, this is beautiful, but I need you to cut it down some more, because I don't know if everyone will read this, if they'll take the time to read the pamphlet." So they all bowed to him being the king. And they bowed and they said, "Your Majesty, we will work, and we will bring you back what you want." And they went out and they spent a month, and they came back with a beautiful paragraph. And it was in a scroll, and they opened the scroll, and the king read the paragraph, and he said, "My wise men, this paragraph is very close. If you can take this and cut it down to one sentence, this will be." They went out and they came back and they gave him the scroll, and he opened it and he read it and he said, "This is it." And what it said is, "There ain't no free lunch."